Hey guys, I thought I'd make a video about how I managed to create my YouTube shorts with that animated art style. Now those video clips are trained on my artwork. So I trained a model in WAN 2.1, the 14B version, and also the 1.5B version of WAN 2.1. So here's the artwork I used. I used a ton of stuff that I had drawn by hand, and also I trained a Flux model on those drawings and built on it with some AI generated artwork in the same art style, just to have more stuff to go off of when I train my video model. So the initial idea was that I wanted to make kind of a YouTube channel about life stuff, whatever I'm thinking about, be able to create some of my own artwork and make videos off of that without having to draw like a million drawings. Because any one of you who likes to doodle, you know that even making something as simple as this takes hours, right? So I love the process of it. Like, I love the process of just delving in here and spending hours with a little spray brush to make the fine little details with reflections on the helmet and shadows on the cape and all of that stuff. Love the process of it, but it takes a very long time. So I have trained a model on this, and for the sake of reference, here is somewhat what you could get. So this is generated by that model trained on my artwork. So here we have AI generated, and here we have hand drawn. You can place them side by side. And as you see, WAN 2.1 is very good at replicating my art style. You see here, AI generated, hand drawn. So especially these demon characters, WAN 2.1 did a very good job with. However, there's a caveat. I learned that it struggles with stylized characters. So I grew up watching Cartoon Network, and I am very inspired by that style. So, for example, here's one of my hand-drawn characters. Very Cartoon Network-ish, like you see he is bald, he has a very exaggerated chin and square glasses. This no AI really wants to do this, and they don't understand when I input a character like this neither. That changes as soon as you go for something like photorealism. So if I changed this into a 3D animated character with the same proportions, then the AI would understand it much better for some reason. Or a 1980s puppet film character, which I love doing. 1, 2.1, and 2.2, and all of those have no problem understanding that. But for some odd reason, 2D characters like this, it struggles a lot with. However, the photorealistic style, it nails. And here we see like it starts coming apart a bit as soon as I go too far away from the references. So here we have 5, 6 fingers and a much more photorealistic look, and you see like the outlines blur together. That's another thing with 2D. I mean, sure, here it's on the fence, so that would probably happen if it was photorealism as well. But with 2D, this is something I've experienced quite a bit actually. Now, I have not tried to combine this with my own artwork. As of yet, I have only tried to generate videos in my art style. So this specific character here is AI generated based off of my art style. So this one was created in a Flux model trained on my artwork, which is this character you see right here. And WAN 2.1 does a fabulous job in recreating that character. So I'm not trying to shit on it with saying that. I mean, it does an amazing job with recreating it. But you see here, generally speaking, when you're doing 2D with AI, you get this outlines that blur together. Now sure, there's always a blurriness to AI generated video, but AI, generally speaking, tends to prefer either photorealism or like 3D animation, or yeah, those more normal art styles. But I would still argue that this worked so well, like overall, it worked so well that I see no reason why you shouldn't want to do this. So here we have a character inspired by me for those videos where I want to be more serious. And yes, I'm bald and I wear glasses. And these are the images I generated of a bald man with glasses in my art style. So this is trained on AI. Essentially, I trained an AI on AI. So yeah, it's a weird process, I know. But first, my own artwork, then build upon that dataset with AI generated images based off of my artwork, and then train a video model with a combination of my own hand-drawn artwork and AI images trained on that artwork. The main problem for me here is that, to be completely honest, I don't know if I really enjoyed that much this art style. So I really like the fact that it is trained on my artwork and that I can easily see the inspiration from my artwork. But the art style itself is a little bit boring, and to actually get this level of consistency with my hand-drawn artwork, I had to turn up the LoRA trained on my artwork to something like not 1.1. I actually had to put it all the way up to 1.3, which is turning up the LoRA strength a lot. And I think the sweet spot for around 60 images was 100 epochs, or maybe 120. Actually, I think 120 epochs was a little bit too much. What happens when you have too many epochs is that you get more and more still videos, so to say, because it's not trained on motion and it relies more heavily on the stuff that it is trained on, and it being still images, you will get more kind of still videos. So the sweet spot is, in my experience, around 80 to 100 epochs. 80, I got quite a bit of artifacts, which is why I went for 100. But this is like, you have to just try. And if I turn down the strength, you get something that kind of resembles my art style, but this is not my art style. Like, you see, this is much more advanced than what I did with my input drawings. But you can see it resembles some of it. So you can combine it with your own. You can combine some videos generated with a lower LoRA strength with some videos with a higher LoRA strength. So for example, if I wanted something very specific from a video, I can turn down the LoRA strength, which then will lead to, one, listening more to my prompt and forgetting more about my art style, and then I can get something that fits the rest of the videos. So there's a lot of ways to go about this. So what I did essentially was I gave the AI a script, and here I have something that lets me batch load a ton of different prompts. So here I can load like 50 prompts, and all of them are written in the same format. So the only thing I then have to do is like run 60 prompts at the same time, and it will go through them one by one, and I can go do whatever. And in a couple of hours, 2 to 3 hours, they're done. And then I have a whole set of, let's see if I can find it here, a whole set of different videos that fit the script for that video. So yeah, this took a lot of time to figure out. And to be honest, I don't know if it was worth it, because the only comment I got on these videos was that it was AI generated. Like, someone saw it immediately that it was AI generated and called me out saying dumb AI art. And I mean, that's just so unnecessary. I mean, I put a lot of effort into this, and why people are so mean, I don't get it. But yeah, that's just, I mean, AI is controversial, and that's just the way it is. And some people just need to put other people down. However, if you find this useful and you would like to fiddle with this yourself, feel free to reach out to me. I believe in sharing knowledge and that we all should help each other figure out this new medium. And I thought maybe this was one of those things that I could try figuring out, how to train AI models on your own artwork and make AI videos with that. And there's a lot of different services that let you train your own models. I guess that should be a separate video from this, since this one is already dragging along, but I used, I think it was Mirror PC or something. Can't remember what it's called, sorry about that. But I've used several of them. Of course, I've used RunPod, which is the cheapest, and that thing worked really well. I trained the 1.3 billion parameter model of WAN in RunPod. Sadly, I could not get that thing to work with my 12 gigabyte VRAM GPU. I'm using a 5070. I got it to work when renting a higher end GPU on RunPod, but not using my own local hardware. Then I would just get jumbled up results. Yeah, so that's it for today, folks. I hope you found it useful, and I catch you guys on the next one. See ya.